Good morning, gentlemen. Bright and sunny weather. And I'm going to talk to you about something which is not really very sunny and concerns Narendra Modi. आप जानते हो नरेंद्र मोदी has been prime minister for 11 years, 11 साल हो गए हैं, and एक मंजे हुए कलाकार है. He knows how to be prime minister of India, डिप्लोमेसी कैसे करनी है. But the latest development जो अमेरिका में हुई है, which is not very good. Donald Trump is going to be the president on the 20th, उसकी swearing in ceremony है, और आज तकरीबन 8 या 9 तारीख हो गई है. And Donald Trump has not invited Narendra Modi for his oath-taking ceremony. ये एक फैक्ट बात है. एंड डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने बहुत सी लीडर्स को बुलाया है, लाइक द फ्रेंच प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रॉन और ट्रूडियो, द चाइनीज प्राइम मिनिस्टर, द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ अर्जेंटीना. He has also called the presidents of Russia and China, Putin and ये बहुत से लोगों को बुला रहे हैं जिनके ऊपर वो समझते हैं कि they are going to be of some use to him और जिनके साथ उनको डील करना पड़ेगा. अफसोस की बात है, मैं समझता हूँ कि उसने हिंदुस्तान के जो प्रधानमंत्री हैं, वजीर आजम श्री नरेंद्र मोदी, उनको नहीं बुलाया. और हम समझते थे कि नरेंद्र मोदी के साथ इनकी बहुत अच्छी इक्वेशन है, एंड ही विल डेफिनेटली कॉल नरेंद्र मोदी फॉर हिज ओथ-टेकिंग सेरेमनी. पर नहीं बनाया, तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ क्या कारण हो सकता है कि उसने नहीं बुलाया. बिकॉज मोदी ने ऐसी कोई हरकत तो की नहीं कि जिससे ट्रंप को दुख लगा हो और एंटेगनाइज फील किया हो. बट अगर आप डिटेल में देखें, आई थिंक मोदी वाज टेकिंग थिंग्स फॉर ग्रांटेड. सबसे पहले तो मोदी ने 2020 इलेक्शन में he put all his eggs in the basket of Donald Trump. एक प्रोग्राम भी किया अमेरिका में हाउडी मोदी, एंड ट्रंप और ये बहुत अच्छा चल रहे थे. फिर ट्रंप हार गए एंड मोदी जी स्विच साइड्स इमीडिएटली टू जिल एंड बाइडेन. एंड 1922 में या लास्ट ईयर उन्होंने जिल बाइडेन को एक डायमंड भी दिया, which was cost £20,000 या $20,000 शायद दिया. बहुत कॉस्टली डायमंड था, which is presented to Jill, who is the wife of the president of the United States, Joe Biden. So question ये राइज हुआ कि ये सब बातें शायद ट्रंप को अच्छी नहीं लगी. और एक और बात भी ये है कि जब ट्रंप ने इलेक्शन जीत लिया तो उससे कोई आउटरीच नहीं हुई फ्रॉम मोदी टू हिम. इनफैक्ट एट दैट टाइम एक मीटिंग भी हुई थी. आई थिंक टॉप इंडियन डिप्लोमेट्स एंड इंक्लूडिंग मोदी वेंट टू यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स एंड इन्होंने डोनाल्ड ट्रंप से कोई मीटिंग की. सो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप मस्ट हैव फेल्ट कि देखिए मैं इतना इनके साथ क्लोज रहा हूँ, एंड दिस मैन आफ्टर आई वन द इलेक्शन नेवर केम इवन वांट्स टू मीट मी, एंड दैट वाज द रीजन. आई थिंक ही डिसाइडेड दैट Modi is not the right material to be called for the inauguration. एक पॉइंट तो मैं मोदी के बारे में कहूंगा कि he has little comprehension, अभी ज्यादा पूरी comprehension नहीं हुई of geopolitical problems in the world. वो still नेहरू की एज में रह रहे हैं. नेहरूवियन एज which is called the age of non-alignment. उस टाइम non-alignment का कोई मतलब था बिकॉज बहुत बड़े दो ब्लॉक्स थे, दैट वाज द सोवियत यूनियन एंड द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स. रशियंस ने भी अपना वॉर्सो पैक्ट बनाया हुआ था, एंड अमेरिकन ऑल्सो हैड मैनी बेसिस एंड पैक्ट्स ऑल ओवर एशिया. जैसे उनका सेटो था, बगदाद पैक्ट था, सेंटो था. सो ऑल दीज पैक्ट्स वर देयर अगेंस्ट रशिया एंड चाइना, एंड इट वाज ए सॉर्ट ऑफ ए क्लैश ऑफ civilization एक तरीके से. And at that time Nehru decided that India should be neutral, and that was very very bad. पर ये न्यूट्रलिज्म खत्म हो गई जब रशिया कोलैप्स हो गया. रशिया नो लॉन्गर ए ग्लोबल पावर, और यहाँ आप समझ सकते हैं कि उनकी पावर कितनी कम हो गई है कि उनका बेस्ट एलाई जो था, दैट इज प्रेसिडेंट असाद ऑफ सीरिया, जब वक्त आया तो असाद के अगेंस्ट इंसरेक्शन शुरू हो गई, एंड आर्मी जो है डेमेस्टिक पर मार्च करने लग पड़ी विद ओपोनेंट्स. तो उसको रशियंस कुड नॉट गिव हिम एनी हेल्प, क्योंकि वो खुद ही यूक्रेन में बॉम्ब डाउन थे, बैटल इन यूक्रेन, जो 2 साल से लड़ाई चल रही है। उनने रिजल्ट जनरल में ये हुआ कि असाद जी हैड टू रन अवे फ्रॉम मॉस्को टू मॉस्को, जहां उसके तकरीबन 10-12 फ्लैट भी हैं, लग्जरी फ्लैट्स। पर अभी को बहुत डिस्टर्बिंग न्यूज आई है कि शायद उसको एक अटेम्प्ट किया है पॉइजनिंग, एंड अभी वो हॉस्पिटल में है. Of course, the Kremlin has not commented on what's happened. And it's a very serious matter. And we do not know whether the Russians involved in it or some opponents. But if this should happen in the heart of the Russian capital, that Moscow, is certainly not very happy omen for the people who want to be with Russia. So at that time, as I told you, Nehru के time न्यूट्रलिज्म की एक मीनिंग थी, पर अभी वो मीनिंग नहीं रहा. And Modi should have realized it instead of trying to stitch his wagon to Moscow all the time. Because Moscow even अपनी जो commitments है fulfill नहीं कर पा रहा. Now there was the S-400 missile system which India had ordered from Russia, and वो अभी तक completely deliver नहीं हुआ. And Russians will say that it takes some more time. अब Russians are very keen कि जो Su-57 है, the Russian 6th generation fighters को इंडिया खरीद गई. But again, supplies will be a problem. और कब आएंगी, क्या होगा? So with the result, India should be beware of the Russian weaponry also, because Russia is now not a reliable partner जैसे वो पहले था. So दोस्तों, इससे भी पता चलता है कि मोदी को कॉम्प्रिहेंशन नहीं है. मैंने बहुत बार अपने वीडियोस में कहा कि सिटिंग ऑन द वॉल उससे कोई फर्क नहीं होता. सिटिंग ऑन द वॉल आप जानते हो, मैंने पोएम भी कई बार कोट किया अपनी डम्टी की, कि ये एक हम्प्टी डम्टी कैरेक्टर था. He sat on a wall and he had a great fall, and all the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty Dumpty together again. और ये जो प्रॉब्लम है ये नरेंद्र मोदी की है. एंड ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट अभी रिलेशन विद चाइना आर वेरी बैड. आप नहीं कह सकते रिलेशन चाइना के थोड़ा अच्छे हैं. और चाइना इज लाइक ए ड्रैगन ब्रीथिंग फायर, और इंडिया जो है वो एक टीम एलिफेंट की तरह है जो ड्रैगन का मुकाबला नहीं कर सकता. So India has to decide who is the Indian ally which can stand up to China. और मेरे हिसाब से it's only America. और अमेरिका को topmost priority Indian diplomats should have given, instead of talking all things about strategic neutrality and all that. आपको याद होगा जब ये मोदी ने बात कही थी, या शायद जयशंकर ने कही थी, कि we believe in strategic neutrality, and the American ambassador said there is no such thing in like strategic neutrality in a world where there is complete change of color and shape after the collapse of the Soviet Union. So ये Modi has to understand. Probably उनको समझ में नहीं आई है क्या बात है. Still he was living in some illusion. And now Bangladesh crisis भी आ रही है. There again Modi जी has the top party. I think immediately जब instruction शुरू हुई थी against Begum Hasina, that was the time India should have acted. सबसे पहले तो हमारी जो इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी जो इतना उनको शोर मचाता है कि ये टॉप क्लास है, ग्लोबल पावर है, and if they understand the politics all over the world, मेरे ख्याल में they don't understand anything, and their comprehension and their spies or whatever and their contacts in Bangladesh are zero, because इनको पता नहीं चला कि वहाँ ये प्रॉब्लम जो है अमेरिकन द्वारा going to organize it. There is no doubt that अमेरिका ने ये ऑर्गेनाइज किया the movement against Sheikh Hasina, because they didn't want her there. They felt she's a dictator, and also she was an autocrat. So next result ये हुआ कि एक movement start हो गई for the overthrow of Sheikh Hasina, and Indian reform party. उस टाइम जब ये मूवमेंट शुरू हुई थी, there was a time for Indian intervention to see that Begum Hasina continues in power. पर इन्होंने ये काम नहीं किया. And as usual, you know, जैसे फ्रैंक मोदी ने लिखा है, meek and mild Hindu, you meek and mild Hindu की तरह, our ambassador Brandon started attending the swearing-in ceremony of Mohammad Yunus, the new Prime Minister of Bangladesh. कोई जरूरत नहीं बाहर जाने थी. India had to show anger, कुछ दिखाया, and net result is there have been a lot of talk कि India's forces will intervene and they will do this thing and they will do that thing. Net result is zero. कुछ नहीं हुआ बांग्लादेश में. And जो मोहम्मद यूनुस है, he is going and taking anti-Indian steps जो बिल्कुल मैंने नहीं रखती. अभी लेटेस्ट स्टेप जो उसने लिया ये भी है कि एक judges were to come to India for some training and he has stopped that. He says there's no need for that. And second, he has opened the Chittagong port to Pakistan. And not only that, he has been talking of a strategic relationship with Pakistan. अब ये उनको शायद समझ में नहीं आई कि पाकिस्तान एक कंगाल नेशन है एंड कंगाल नेशन जो है वो स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप नहीं कर सकता. एंड ये बात मैं जिस जगह आपको समझ शेख क्या नाम है इनके मोहम्मद यूनुस को समझ नहीं आ रही कि ये क्या हुआ है. सेकेंडली, मोहम्मद यूनुस मेरे ख्याल एक डाई हार्ड मुस्लिम है और इन्होंने कांटे ब्लांचे दे दिया. कांटे ब्लांचे मीन्स जो मर्जी करो. एंड दे स्टार्टेड अटैकिंग द हिंदू फैमिलीज. और मुझे कुछ खबर है जो मैं पढ़ी है कि ये 200 या 300 हिंदू गर्ल्स जो थी उनको किडनैप करके अबडक्ट करके ले गए हैं टू मेड वाइफ ऑफ द मुस्लिम्स. Whether it's true or no, we don't know. But the very fact that this news is floating around means there is no smoke without fire. So, gentlemen, ये सब फॉल्ट जो है ये नरेंद्र मोदी का ही है. दिस वॉज द टाइम फॉर हिम टू इंटरवीन और एक नाम बनाता है हिंदुस्तान के लिए. इनसे बेटर तो राजीव गांधी थे. ही वॉज अ मैन विद गट्स. एंड आप जानते हो कि उसने 2 जगह इंटरवेंशन की, वो बहुत जबरदस्त इंटरवेंशन की. पहली तो श्रीलंका में की जब इंडियन पीस कीपिंग फोर्स वहां चली गई अंडर कमांड ऑफ मेजर जनरल कीरत सिंह. They captured Jaffna and they had even captured Prabhakaran, but then he was released. So he also gave these blessings for the Indian troops to land in the Maldives. That was a very wonderful thing. When there was a military coup a terrorist coup in Maldives, and he ordered the Indian army there. And the first IR-76 with troops under command of Brigadier Balsara landed there and the rebels ran away. मतलब ये गट्स रखते थे राजीव गांधी, but unfortunately Modi, that sort of charisma he is lacking. He is good at talking and speaking in parliament. That is a very nice thing he does. But अभी तक मुझे समझ नहीं आई, 11 साल हो गए. What stopped him from giving a press conference or discussing with the press? और ये जैसे लगते हैं कि प्रेस से डरते हैं. And he has been avoiding any conference or a chat with the press. तो ये कोई अच्छी बात नहीं है. But fact is that जैसे एक sheep होता है and puts on the loins dress clothing doesn't mean that he'll become a lion. So that is the problem with Modi. He can bite, but he cannot eat the meat. So it is not enough that you bite. You should be able to chew the meat. He is not able to do that. So he is under a handicap. He has opted for Russia for various weaponry, but Russia can't supply you. और अब situation very dangerous है because Pakistan is going to get the J-35 or J-41 जो है 6th generation fighter from China. अब पाकिस्तान की गेम तो सिंपल है. जो उनकी आवाम है वो भूखी मरती रहे, कोई बात नहीं, so long as they need weapons. And weapons उनको चाहिए और weapons उनको मिल रही है. China सप्लाई कर रहा है. I think ये सबसे रेस पे है. It's very sad that this thing is happening. और India doesn't have any fighter of that value, of that magnitude. हमारे पास लेटेस्ट फाइटर जो है वो तो राइफल है जो फ्रांस से हम लेके आए हैं और वो भी came very late. And Indian squadrons are understaffed. We are supposed to have 40 frontline squadrons. मेरे ख्याल से 27 ऑपरेशन है इस वक्त. And this is a very dangerous thing as far as India is concerned. अब बांग्लादेश को भी वेपन्स मिल रही हैं पाकिस्तान से. 40 tons of dynamite has come, RDX, and they are getting a lot of artillery shells and guns which they are stocking up. अब ये किसके लिए स्टॉकिंग कर रहे हैं? Obviously they are anticipating an Indian invasion. And we should have been wary of it and launched the invasion the day Sheikh Hasina was to move out from Bangladesh. अगर ये होता और शेख हसीना को रिस्टोर हो दिया ये मूवमेंट कोलैप्स कर जाती. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली कहते हैं ना, those men who fire bullets and kill are not the men who can talk peace and clear off the enemy. See, the purpose of the army, having such a big army like India, is to create shock and awe. And this, the Indian army is not able to do it. Nepal, they are now printing their currency with the map of Kala Chowki, part of India, part of Nepal. This should have led to a diplomatic furor, but कुछ नहीं हुआ. Military card protest note देके at the end the कहानी खत्म कर दी. And the Sri Lankans, despite all the close relations with you, daily they capture some 150, 200 fishermen. उनको पकड़ के ले जाते हैं, हाथ पकड़ के जेल में बंद करते हैं. And the Indians are just keeping silent. And the sad part is that the bone of contention, the island of Kashmir too, ये island जो है इंडिया ने गिफ्ट किया है श्रीलंका को, just as we gifted the Comoros Islands to Burma. ये मुझे बात समझ नहीं आई पंडित नेहरू ने क्यों किया और इंदिरा गांधी ने क्यों किया ये आइलैंड जो है जो हैंड ओवर कर दिया श्रीलंका. But anyway, that is just a sign of how Mr. Modi is acting. Modi जो है breathes fire against the Gandhi family, and very rightly so. But breathing fire against the Gandhi family has no meaning. इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है until unless there is a conviction. And आप देखिए, अब 11 साल हो गए बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट पावर में आई है, and they have not been able to do anything about Jijaji. That is the man who is the brother-in-law of Rahul Gandhi, that is Mr. Vadra. And वो अपनी ऐश कर रहे हैं, अभी तक कोई चार्जशीट भी फाइल नहीं हुई, प्रॉब्लली कोई एविडेंस दे कुड नॉट रिकवर. एंड इवन द हेरेड केस जो है जिसमें करप्शन केस जो है which is in which Indira Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are being tried, is at a dead end. I don't know when some judgment आई क्या है. Subramanian Swamy is continuing to be optimistic, but optimistic is a good thing, but it may not be reality. And for all you know, I don't know whether punishment मिलेगी भी या acquit हो जाएंगे, we don't know. So this is again a weakness of the Modi government. वो strike नहीं कर पाए. And there were so many leaders from the opposition against whom there were serious charges, but they were not pursued by the CBI. And I do not know why. So BJP मुझे कई बार लगता है stop gap government है. एक period था when people were disenchanted with the Congress. They didn't like Congress. They wanted a fresh face, and Narendra Modi came. And now I think he started looking stale. अब देखिए ये not getting the invitation for the US presidential election मेरे हिसाब से is not a good thing, and definitely it's a disaster for Modi. And it shows his standing in the world, because now many people are trolling him that what the hell you're getting done, Mike. And let's hope that Modi can show his more smart. But आप किसी पोजीशन देख लीजिए, he has been very meek and mild. I would expect this meek and mildness from a man like Gandhi. But he had the antithesis in Subhash Chandra Bose. And here Modi has got no antithesis, nobody. He's got a couple of yes men in the cabinet who themselves are political lightweights, and on their own they can't win an election anywhere. That part gets accepted. But Modi is very confident, he's continuing, he's saying, I run the and it's clear. I don't think the age of a mere imperialism of one is dead and past. We can't resurrect it. And now the world is changing. Another problem which we have is Pakistan. And we must see to it that Pakistan is destroyed. I don't know what is the policy of war, but Pakistan is ripe to be destroyed, and 4 provinces to be created out of it. Similarly, Bangladesh has got a huge majority of 1.5 million Hindus, and these should be given a separate homeland. India has to work on these things. Only then these things will happen. They don't happen on their own, and you keep hoping everybody, Ram will do it or Krishna will do it. They will do nothing because they are imaginary gods. Everything has to be done by man. I think I would agree with Panditji on one particular uh, quote which he said that man is the maker of his own destiny. And if India has to make its destiny, the Indian leader has to act. We had a sad time when we had Sardar Manmohan Singh as Prime Minister. Now, ye jo aadmi tha, I don't know which world he lived in. And if you see the film made on his life, The Accidental Prime Minister, you will realize that what a weak person he was. There is a scene in the film where he says, I want to resign to his daughters. And they agree. They say, हाँ आपको करना चाहिए. And all he does is to go and tell Indira Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Madam, I want to resign. अरे ये क्या तरीका हुआ? आपको appointment हुई president से, you should have resigned to the president and send a copy of the letter and your reasons to Sonia Gandhi. That is a procedure. But probably it was just a makeshift thing, लोगों को दिखाने के लिए कि देखो मैं resign कर रहा हूँ. Then actually he didn't want to resign at all. And he was a man who was a yes man. I think I recollect Vishwan writing an article saying that here's a man who's been foisted over 1 billion people and cannot even win a panchayat election. I'll leave it at that and come down to the present age. Modi came into power with a lot of hope and surge, but he has failed. The first 2 terms, he had an absolute majority and he could easily pass the Waqf Act or the ushered in the uh, National Register for Citizens. In addition, he could have put in for a uniform civil code, seen to it that Parliament passed. He didn't do anything. And now, when these bills were introduced, all he could do was send them to JBC. I mean, और क्या करेंगे JBC में तो matter become 10 countries for months together. So that just shows that he lacked horizon. When he was in power, he should have done things. But he thought he was going to get 400 seats this time. And that was, Sheikh Chili ki dream. He couldn't get it. Even at that time, I'd made a astrological forecast. There is no way he can get 400 seats. Of course, I was wrong. I thought he'd get at least 325. But he ended up getting about 80 seats less than that even. That was because of, his complacency. The complacency of the BJP caught it. And then they antagonized the RSS. We had one BJP minister, Mr. Nadda, I think is the president, saying that we don't need the RSS now. What the hell were they talking? We don't need the RSS now. You can't win without the RSS. And now, I think Modi has completed his tenure and people would like a change. Kaun aayega, I cannot say. I can have a personal preference. I would select 2 people for this job. One of them, of course, is political lightweight at the moment, and he's Annamalai. He's a very highly educated man, an ex-IPS officer, and he's doing a wonderful job in Tamil Nadu as the chief of the BJP. The second man is, of course, very tried and trusted, a wily old fox, and his name is Swami Adityanath, Yogi Adityanath. And any of these 2 can take over the country, and I think they'll make the country go forward. I would prefer Annamalai because of his wide horizon. And as far as the BJP is concerned, once the selection is made by Modi as to who has to take over from him, they will agree. Now, question is, जो मैंने पहले रेज किया, डोनाल्ड ट्रंप क्या करने वाले हैं? डोनाल्ड ट्रंप जो है is a maverick. Maverick होता है man who is, whimsical. He acts everything like a whimsical man. Today he will like to dance, tomorrow he will box, third day he will spar, next day he will hug you. I cannot imagine what he's planning. But he is a man with a very clear mind. I will say that much about him. And he has a horizon of his own. And one thing is very clear, he doesn't want more. He wants to expand America and make it great. That is why he has got a suggestion that Canada should be part of America. मेरे ख्याल में ये होगा नहीं. It's not possible. But if there is a referendum held in Canada, I think most of the Canadians will say we want to be with America. And then he's also cited Greenland for its resources. And then he wants the Panama Canal also. The Panama Canal, you see, was made by the Americans themselves. And it's a canal that connects the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. But it's a tremendous engineering feat because the levels of both the oceans are different. And so, what was done by the engineers in the Suez Canal could not be repeated here. So, he wants even that because that's a significant waterway. But now it is going into disuse because the Panama government cannot maintain it. So, we will have to wait and see, gentlemen. Donald Trump has ambitious plans. He also wanted to stop the fighting in Russia. But he sent in the fait accompli. And I really don't know what he's planning because he has called Zelensky also for his swearing in ceremony. At the same time, he's talking of, having a detente with Russia and a ceasefire. How's going to have it? I mean, the proposal which he has given to Russia is not something which can be acceptable to the Russians. He has said there will be a ceasefire and the ceasefire line will be policed by the French and the British military personnel. This is not acceptable to Russia. And then he says NATO will not join for 20 years. Very good. But what happens if the Russians ask after 20 years? 20 years is not a long time. Now, one thing is very clear. There's so much enmity which has come in between Ukraine and Russia that the two cannot join up together. However, the portions which have been captured by Russia, I don't think are going to go back to Ukraine. That includes the Crimea. And the great mistake has been committed by Zelensky. He should have been very, very careful in doing all these things. Just as Rahul Gandhi in India has committed so many mistakes. And net result is he has led the Congress coup. And it is hard to reconcile that when Pandit Nehru was the Prime Minister of India, the Congress invariably won 350 seats out of, say, 539. And with the result that now the Congress is not able to win any number of seats at all. The maximum they won is 99 this year. That is in the 224 election. But otherwise they have been wiped out. And I think in the next election they'll be wiped out also. That is because Rahul Gandhi has eschewed the tried and trusted policies which were put in force by Jawaharlal Nehru. He believed in secularism to an extent, and he didn't believe in casteism. That's very correct. But Rahul is trying to create a bogey of casteism by saying that कुछ भी हो जाए मैं casteist census कराऊंगा. Why the hell do you want to have a census on caste? Who is what, Jat and Hair and all that? India is wanting to get away from the caste system. Rahul Gandhi wants to bring it back. So, what is his aim? His aim is not the good of the country. No, his aim is किसी तरीके से ऊपर को भाई मैं Prime Minister बन जाऊं. That's about all. I want to be Prime Minister of India. And that is where the situation arises, that he is not going to lead India anyway. However, now Modi has to adjust his sights. Just कहते हैं ना gun sight adjust करते हैं and get along with Donald Trump. There is no choice. And one thing Modi should be very clear that India will not be able to match China, not in this century, I can tell you. China is way ahead, $20 billion GDP to India's 3.7, and a per capita income that is 6 to 7 times more than India, and a technological base which India will never catch up. They've got space station running, they've got the spacemen around the world, and they produced a 6th generation fighter, and there's a lot of advancement in America. In fact, the other day I went and bought a small, microphone for my recordings, and I found it was made in China. I mean, nothing made in India. I look around for where you can get anything from made in India, you won't get it. And India got at least deficit of $100 billion with China. I mean, that's stupendous. America's got a trade billion deficit of $400 billion with China. So China is not a nation you can trifle with. But at the same time, the Americans have now realized that China is the biggest threat they have to face. And I don't know if tomorrow China invades Taiwan, what the Americans are going to do. Will they be able to stop the Chinese tide? I don't think so. They might like to use ICBMs in that case, and that would not be a good omen because the Chinese have also got it and they use them also. So it could be a big configuration that leads to Third World War and perhaps the destruction of the United States and to an extent China. I've seen both countries avoid it, Nobody wants destruction in their homeland. America has to beware of another fundamental thing, and that is Islamic terrorism, which is managed in Pakistan. Now, Pakistan is a country which is involved in all the nefarious activities in the world. Even now, there have been some gangs moving around in England which groom the girls. That is, girls from 8 to 10 years are captured, taught only sex, and till the age of 18, they mature up. They are expert in sex and they have formed sex gangs, capture more girls, and the main persons who are doing all this is the Pakistanis. And Pakistanis, I don't know, Bangladesh also is an extremely stupid leadership by Mohammed Yunus, and it's not going to be very far. I would say sooner than later, when he'll have to flee the country. Just walk my words. Mohammed Yunus has eaten up too much of kheer and sweets, and I think they're going to go out of his system, and he'll have to flee the country. And he seems to have forgotten the massive rape of the Pakistani by the Pakistani soldiers of the Bengali girls who were impregnated, and the famous quote by General Niazi, कि मैं इनकी नस्ल चेंज कर दूंगा. I will change the race of the Bengalis. So Pakistan is another entity in the world. They're going in for the ICBM. How many surprised that after they finished, the Americans and the Israelis finished Iraq, Iran, they turned on Pakistan. And very rightly so. I think over time the Pakistan ICBM program was completely smashed. Well, gentlemen, I've had rambling thoughts. Donald Trump is now on the ascendant, and it will be imperative on Mr. Modi to see to it that he can placate Donald Trump and be on his side. He shouldn't keep harping on Russia's strategic independence, not required. At the same time, India has to have the border settlement with Pakistan, gentlemen. There is no choice for it. You can't keep claiming Oxygen when it was never a part of India for 2,000 years. How do you claim it? I don't know what way you can claim it. Well, I'll discuss that at a later stage. I think if you like my video, please share it with your friends. I look forward to more interaction with you. In the meanwhile, I'll say God bless, take care, and Jai Hind.